attempt from Patrick Wallace to go through to round 2, and I'm sure that's sure to please his many legions of fans up and down the country. Well, now to a man of a similar vintage to Jimmy, in fact just a little bit older. At the tender age of 47, he's the oldest player still going in the elite top 16, and he's still one of the best. Steve Davis.
What do you call him? The ginger magician? The golden nugget? He's had all sorts of nicknames. Steve Davis, absolutely incredible that he's still playing to the standard that he is. People were writing Steve Davis off a couple of seasons ago. They said, well, he's doing other things, you know, he's working on TV. Steve Davis still wants to be a major winner.
He's turned from someone who everybody hated when he was winning all the time to now, like, everybody loves him. I mean, what can you say? I mean, he's just a great character to be around these days for anybody, you know. I just wish he'd go for more shots.
He tends to go into the pack late. You know, I think Steve would still have a chance of doing a lot of damage in tournaments if he was a little bit more aggressive. He's still good enough to compete with the players outside the top 8. He's never going to be favourite to beat a top 8 player because he's not the player he was. But if he was a little bit more aggressive, now and again, he'll cause a few problems for the top players.
What is remarkable about Steve Davis to me is his love of the game. The fact that he still wants to play. He still wants to go out in that arena in front of a full house and give 100%. Whether he can still give 100% concentration, 100% focus, I think he'll do it occasionally, but to do it all season long, that is the acid test.
Steve's first match here in Preston is against Grimsby's Sean Storey, the world number 50, who's been around a fair number of years himself, some 13 years in fact. Let's get into it then. Best of 9 frames, remember, Clive Everton and John Virgil in the commentary box.
Bit thick on that contact, and he's left a long straight red. Now let's see if he can keep his head down and still get this in and screw back a touch for the black. Played it beautifully. Cued that really well.
Eight. Nine. To the ball. Sure.
I know many years ago, Clive, we'd have been thinking, well, that's 2 reds,
16.
2 blacks. The way they're situated, in his prime, he'd have loved this situation.
A 17.
You wouldn't have bet against him winning the frame at this visit. But winning that last frame might have just given him a little injection of confidence.
24. 25.
Yeah, you can see his problem. He's just too straight. He wanted that cue ball when he potted the red just to run through another half an inch would have done it. He's going to have to force the angle here. And in the end, well, just bit the bullet and made certain of the black. He's on a red, he's on one to the left centre, one to the left corner, but he won't be playing for the black.
.33.
Miscue.
Steve Davis, 33.
Attempting the deep screw.
Well, you don't see him do that very often. That would have made a mess of the cloth. Didn't see anyone repair the divot, did you, Fly?
Yes. A violent miscue sometimes does take a little nick out of the cloth.
Nevertheless, I mean, it finished on a miscue, but he'd be very disappointed because he was in a terrific situation there. The reds were nicely spread, the black was available into both corner pockets. He's got a chance to get back in that position now if he can knock this long red into the right corner. He's thinking about other options, but to me, there's only one. Just got to trust your cueing, keep your head still, push that cue through straight. And that was a long way away.
Davis obviously felt pressure with that shot because he knew that if he missed it, he was going to leave a sitter for his opponent. But he had to take it on. Oh, wow, what a let-off. Was that a kick?
I think so. I heard it was a bad contact. It was a bad contact. It's the sound that... Yeah, oh, your definite kick. Went on straight. Well, that's about the third one we've had. Steve Davis had one in the last frame, but that could cost Sean this frame.
One.
Because these reds couldn't be better spread, and particularly as Steve came to the table with a 33-point lead. It's now 34. So he started off this match really well, Sean Storey. Well, he's got another chance to
Steve Davis.
redeem himself.
Well, that was a terrible miss from Davis. The referee, Alan Chamberlain, is cleaning the cue ball again, so maybe it wasn't entirely human error. Nevertheless, a significant mistake.
One.
Whatever it was caused by, because Davis was in an ideal position to clinch a 2-1 lead. Now Storey has the chance, with only one tricky red left,
8.
to clinch a 2-1 lead himself.
9. 16. $17.
Should have been above the blue. Would then have been able to play for choice of easy reds without any difficulty. Full bore cannon on the brown leaves him out of position, but there is a possible long red on.
Yes, and he'll be thankful it's near the pocket. But it still didn't help him
Sean
pot it.
Storey, 22.
That was a great chance he's let go there.
Well, quite a few mistakes in this frame. Davis has had a couple of very good chances. Storey's had a couple.
1. $5. 6. 30. 14.
Davis needs 2 of the remaining 3 reds to clinch the frame.
Just let the cue ball
21.
run a little bit farther than he wanted then. He's going to play this red to the left corner, but he wanted it to be straighter. It's a little bit more difficult to pot.
$22.
So Davis
29.
simply needs to pot this penultimate red to secure the frame, barring snookers.
Well, he needed a few chances, but he made one of them a frame winner.
$37. 38.
Very nice.
44. Steve Davis 44 and the frame.
The yellow overcut, but much too late to make any difference. Steve Davis takes the third frame to lead by 2 frames to 1.
Steve Davis to break, frame 4.
Well, considering it was a comparatively easy safety shot, he's made a bit of a mess of that, but no real damage done. Left the red near the left corner, which is a difficult pot. But any pots he's not appetising to Steve because the black's off its spot and out of commission. So just a safety to play. Considering he could get his hand on the table, he'd be disappointed with that, catching a baulk colour. Yes, he's trying to find the red. It's the third red from the on the right-hand side of the table, third one in. He's not certain he can just get past the brown. That's the one that can get him a path back to the baulk end. Well, it looks as though he can hit enough of it to me. In the end, he could hit plenty of it, and he played it perfectly. It was worth the wait.
Well, what he was trying to do, I think, was just to pot the red to get one extra shot. I don't believe the black would go to the right corner.
One.
There's Dominic Dale, who won this tournament 7 years ago when it was held at Bournemouth.
Yes, and he'll be looking to see some of the tactical expertise of Steve Davis here. Now, he's run a little bit far on this blue. He's got a choice here for me. Either tries to hold for a loose red or go full-blooded into the pink and really bring these reds into play. It's into the pink. And it's worked out very nicely, thank you.
6. Seven.
Well, the red he just run by, I think he He was thinking if he caught that full ball he'd be on one, and if he just caught it half ball he'd be on one.
30.
But now what a good chance this is. Once the black's respotted, it's available into both corner pockets. And particularly after losing the first frame in the manner he did, when his
20.
opponent looked in real good form, to go in at this mid-session interval 3-1 in front. Well, he'd be well pleased with that, Steve.
21.
We were talking about all the things that he doesn't do now, or consistently he doesn't do now, but I don't think his love of the game has ever waned, has it, Clive?
Definitely not. And still relishes the battle.
Oh yes, yes. I think
28.
that's what we forget sometimes in sport. It is about the competition. Competition, and if I ever think of what I miss, it is that competition. You know, that little bit of adrenaline you get when you're playing in a big match and playing on the big stage. Disappointed.
Steve Davis.
He nearly.
28.
He was thinking about banging the cue on the table. That's not his style. But he'll be kicking himself.
Well, it's about half ball, but just hit it too thick. Nice shot.
1.
Storey needs to reassert himself here. He's not done much for the last couple of frames. He came to the table 28 behind in this one. Missed his intended cannon there,
8.
which would have left him on a red to right corner.
Sean Storey. 8.
Bridging over. Not as difficult as they sometimes are, but the cue ball was still pretty near the obstructing ball.
One.
So, right back in again now, after that miss from Sean, and
8.
well, with a 28-point lead, enough reds in the middle of the table.
9.
That didn't go in the middle of the pocket, did it? That's probably why he's not perfect on this black. That was a nod of disapproval. So now he'll have to go up for the blue.
16.
It's okay, as long as he gets a nice angle on the blue.
17.
Just about.
$22.
3 reds in the middle of the table with colours is all that's required. As long as he keeps getting on the right side of the blue, and this time he's inch perfect. Don't expect a mistake now.
$28. $29.
Oh, he's played that well.
36.
Just one mistake too many by Sean.
37.
Not very well in the first frame, but there again he was in. Well, that was frame ball.
44.
Steve just looking at the scoreboard. He's 64 points in front. There's only 59 left. He can breathe easy.
Steve Davis, 44.
So barring snookers, it's 3-1 to Davis at the mid-session interval.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Frame 5. Sean Storey to rain.
Well, if the red to right corner, that's the red right of picture, was a natural angle for Davis to get the cue ball round behind the back of the black, he would take it. But there's another red behind the black, so that has understandably deterred him.
Knocked a red close to the corner pocket, but the advantage, you see it clearly, of getting a good length with the cue ball just makes this red very difficult. That cue ball's well, if Steve could get his hand on the table, he'd take this red on. He may take a chance and go cushion first. We'll soon know. No, I think he's just going to roll this in, and if it goes in, play a safety off one of the baulk colours. No heroics.
1.
But potting the red has got him out of the spot of bother.
Yellow ball. Steve Davis, 1.
Well, I would have thought the red 3 in from the right was the ball, providing he can make a thin edge.
Well, is he taking the pot on here? was a risky shot to play, and it could be costly.
One. Eighth. Nine. Twelve.
Ooh. Well,
Foul.
that wasn't his fault.
Steve
It was a
Davis,
very
12.
heavy contact, a
Sean
kick,
Storey, 4.
and that threw the cue ball wide.
Well, you could hear it, you could see it. There's some terrible contacts here this evening. Whether there's a change in the atmosphere in the arena.
One.
Well, the whole game is founded on the basis of two glossy ball surfaces in contact, and if for any reason one of the balls is not perfectly glossy, then you can have an imperfect contact.
Three. Four. Ten. Eleven. $17. $18.
Oh dear.
Sean Storey, 18.
It's always a bad feeling for a player of Storey's quality to miss a straightforward routine black from its spot.
You want me to? Yes, please. Well, out the way then.
Storey needed to reassert himself there after losing the last 3 frames and had a good chance to do so.
One. Eight. Nine.
Slight grimace from Steve there as he walked round the table. He's just obviously come a little bit too straight on this black for his ideal, and you can see why. Well, he got into it nicely.
16.
Certainly
17.
seems to be a quicker tempo in his play, Clive, since the mid-session interval.
Well, he's won 3 frames in succession, and maybe
24.
he's feeling more confident than he did at the start of the match.
$25.
It's also his first match of the season, and took a little while to get into it.
He needs to cue this well. He did. He got through that lovely, because that wasn't straightforward. If he'd have just
32.
hit that a little bit too firm, he wouldn't have been on these reds. He had to get right through the black to be able to get on these reds into the opposite corner.
33.
23 points in front after the pink, 29, so another red and a black would be enough. And I think he's purposely held the pink spot.
39.
30 points in front. Couldn't get through for the black. He was so
40.
close, but he's nicely on the pink. And this pink will put him 37 points in front with only 35 left. And as he's nicely on the last red, I don't think
46.
Sean Storey will be coming back to the table.
47.
Storey missed a black from its spot at point blank range. And Davis has been at the table ever since.
53. 55. 58. 62. 67. 73, and the frame.
73.
Steve Davis.
The highest break of the match. Very nice. It puts Davis 3 up with 4 to play at 4-1.
Steve Davis to break, frame 6.
Davis's break off shot just flicks the blue, but it certainly hasn't done him any harm on this occasion. Wow, that was a mile out, went right across it.
Yes, in cricketing terms, I think that would be called a wide. He's probably getting a little bit annoyed here. He started off this match so well, but look at this. The cue went off the hand. He just threw it. But it can get frustrating, and he can also see that Steve Davis is just beginning to find his form.
Yes, a little bit tricky that. One of the frustrating things for Storey was his failure in the last frame, missing a simple black from its spot and letting Davis in for a winning 73. Well, if he was flowing, instead of just wobbling in the jaws, that would probably have gone in. But he's really struggling, having lost the last 4 frames.
One.
Well, it looks as though he's got the angle on the brown to come down to the business end. Playing this brown into the... Oh, he looks perfect. And playing for the red just above the black, which is on nicely. I think
5.
the problem still is, though, is the black available into either corner pocket? Looks doubtful. Doesn't go in this one, and I'm certain it doesn't go in the opposite one. So although he's nicely on the red, black tied up, pink tied up, it's only the blue or a bought colour to play for, unless he tries to nudge the black into a possible position. That's what he elected to do. Well, Steve, you've knocked it into a pottable position. Can you pot it? This is tricky.
Never in doubt.
13. 14.
There's one loose thread that he could play for. But is this the time to open the bunch? Make sure of the open red. And he may be able to get on another red at the back of the bunch subsequently.
Just overrun it a fraction. It's a tough black, and he's going to have to play a good shot now to develop a red. That was always the problem. It was such a fine cut on the black. Could he catch the red
29.
thick enough? And the answer was no. taking this on. Playing a deep screw.
Steve Davis.
He's certainly,
29.
since the mid-session interval, come out with a very positive approach, Clive.
Yes, and his average shot time has gone down to 22 seconds, which is pretty brisk. Brisker than his norm, which is, from memory, about 25.
This is a good shot from Sean. Excellent. Couldn't have played it better. Gives Steve Davis a problem here.
Very well worked out, apart from the kiss. He's still fascinated by this game after all the years he's been playing it.
One.
A good pot. He's in with a chance, but unfortunately, the last few frames, he's been in with these good chances and, well, made a careless miss. 4-1 down, he can't afford any more.
Eight. Nine. A 16. 17. 24. 25.
Has left himself with bridging a lot more awkward than he wanted to. That's cut down his choice of positional shots. As it happened, finished on a natural angle
32.
for the cannon, just to nudge that red along the cushion towards the pocket, but this is still one he's got to be careful with.
Sean Storey, 32.
Well, Storey's 32 takes him into the lead, but he should have made at least 50 from that position. He didn't want to be playing that red along the cushion until he'd scored quite a few more points.
One. Eight. 9. 16. $17.
14 points in front, pot the black, 21 points in front. So he's going to need 3 of these remaining reds.
24.
2 on the right hand side of the table are going to be the problems if he's going to win the match at this visit.
25.
Didn't get that cannon exactly how he wanted it.
Well, that was a good shot. He still
31.
plays a bit. He still can play a bit, can't he? This has been a good performance. Still needs 2 of these remaining reds, though. It's not
32.
a formality just yet. Got a nice angle on the black to get behind or disturb one of those reds. He disturbed them both.
39.
36 points the lead. 43 points left on the table. Is it worth the risk for frame and match?
Well, the other red is safe. But still,
Steve Davis, 39.
Davis preferred the safety, deciding to sit on his 36-point lead.
Not turn out too bad. He doesn't want to play the red that's tight against the side cushion. That's a little bit of insurance for him, so just nudging that one and well, it's a good hit. I mean, in an ideal world, Sean Storey would like to try and play safe and bring these 2 reds into the open. I don't know whether he can do that or not. He couldn't. A little bit of cat and mouse now. He's desperate. He wants Steve to play a safety off the red near the cushion, and I think he may have forced him into playing it because he snookered him on the open red. And Steve hasn't played that well at all. So maybe this is the last chance saloon for Sean. Can he keep his hopes alive with a clearance?
Well, not now. These are the sort of shots you want to clinch matches.
1.
So Steve Davis started slowly, sat out a break of 63 from Sean Storey in the opening frame, but gradually picked up momentum.
7.
He snookered himself carelessly there, but it won't make any difference.
8.
Even had he not potted that red, it was still 2 snookers to tie. So a very satisfactory outcome for Steve Davis.
Steve Davis 12.
He dropped the first frame but took the next 5 to beat Sean Storey by 5 frames to 1.
Looks as if he enjoyed that.